Uh-oh, it says we're live.
It says we're live. We're
I guess I
alive.
better keep my clothes on.
Oh, yes, surely. Yeah, I hope we're live. It takes few seconds to, yeah, let me see. But it seems to be working now. Good, good, good. Now I have everything. So we're live. We also have a live chat on YouTube under the link, the YouTube link. So people can ask stuff there as well. And anyway, hello there, folks, whoever is watching or will be watching it later. For example, hello there, and it's nice to see you all, or nobody. But at some point, at least you will maybe watch the video, I mean, and not live, but in the record. And we're gonna talk about a top 3 ancient world games. I'm sorry. So my name is Ilya, and yeah.
Oh, and I'm Kyle.
Kyle. Hi, Kyle. You've been
Hello.
on a podcast. We've done Fellowship of the Punch Board a few times, and we've done some other things. So with top 3, what I thought is that we will probably, I don't know how often we'll do that, but as often as we want to. Anyway.
Every day?
I want to do once per week, but it might not be possible every week, but it would be great, I mean, to do that. So anyway, so me and Kyle are gonna do the top 3 series now. I hope so, if you don't mind, Kyle.
Hey, if I can get the technical specifications right.
Oh yeah. But we figured this out, and now at least oh, there's somebody saying hi, Kyle. But you're not.
Hi.
Are you on the YouTube chat as well?
No.
If you open the link, let me just send you. If you open the link, but stop the video itself, because then you like hear yourself in a mirror sound.
Oh.
So if you open the link, it's basically the YouTube, and there's the YouTube chat live.
Okay. Well, hello, person who's watching. I don't know who you are, but I'll check in a moment once I get this link open.
I think it's your top 100 fan.
Oh.
So at least something. Anyway, while Kyle is doing this technical stuff.
Oh, it's one of my friends from Sweden.
Oh, that's Mikkel.
Yes.
Örsted-Holm.
Yeah, we met when I was in Stockholm. We played Ashes together.
And Kochka Bachena is the one of our viewers as well, who is always live in the chat.
That means the die has been cast. It's Croatian.
Oh, you see, Kyle knows Croatian. He's like, Croatian, Bulgarian, and Popolska. Yeah, that's.
I can speak English pretty well too.
That's good. I'm sorry. I'm gonna drink some of the chamomile tea because I lost my voice recently, so I'm just still recovering from all of that. Anyway, so we're gonna go with our top 3 ancient world games. So basically, how I picked the games is that we all discussed with Kyle as well. Is that I didn't want to go with mythological too much, but I mean, like, eventually I had to go with mythological themes. They are ancient themes, basically, the ancient Greece, Rome, and so on, and Egypt, and that's fine with me. But I want to get the feel of the ancient world. I also wanted it to be not the civilization game, because if it's a civilization game that doesn't progress in time, then that's fine if it stays in the ancient times. Or and also the thing is that some mythological themes are too fantasy type. I mean, like, a spoiler, for example, Blood Rage is not, because I don't feel like Vikings are ancient, first of all, and the other thing is that Blood Rage is too much fantasy for me. I don't really feel that, ancient thing over there. So that's just me, and I just try to pick a little bit more historical themes, but it's really hard, so I went with mythology mostly. Anyway.
Yeah, I have a little. One of my games has a little bit of mythological flavor in it, but it's definitely not a mythological game. I also when we said ancient, I excluded things like prehistoric, even though that's pretty ancient.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was instructed to exclude Cthulhu, even though he's an ancient one.
I'm sorry, but I mean, like, the setting of Lovecraft is 1920s or something like that, so it's not really
ancient.
Yeah.
Anyway, I excluded them, so don't worry.
That's good. That's good. So I think without the further ado, let's just start and not babble too much. You're the first one. You're the guest.
I'm the first one.
Yes.
So what? I do my number 3 first?
Yes. Number 3.
All right. My number 3 is a game that I learned with you, actually, in Estonia a long time ago. This is Nostrum Empire. It's the reprint. And it's a nice ancient world game. You've got a bunch of ancient civilizations. You've got Carthage, Rome, Greece. There's a little bit of mythology in this one. This is the one I mentioned.
Atlantis.
You've got the Atlanteans, and you've got some of the different characters that can come in, have maybe a mythological or even religious bent to them. But the game itself doesn't focus on them. They're more of a little bit of flavor in the outside. Really what you're doing is trading or fighting or building up your empire in the Mediterranean. And that's kind of how it works out. And even though there's, it has a nice ancient flavor, the components look really ancient. You've got camels for caravans and old temples and buildings. And it really just, when I thought of ancient world themes, this is one of the first ones that came to my mind.
Yeah, true that. So legit thing over there, because I feel like Mare Nostrum is more of a ancient world game rather than the what you say the fantasy game or.
Oh yeah, it's not very fantastical at all. Really, you're trading and throwing dice and building and it's just sort of developing your civilization. But like you said, it stays in one place. It doesn't progress through time. It's really just a slice of history in that ancient part of the world where modern civilization pretty much began.
Yeah, that's cool. No spoilers. Anyway, let's go with my number 3. My number 3, by the way, is a small game. It's a card game, but I just wanted to go with, like, when I chose games, is how much of a ancient world feel I have, theme and feel. So this is the Valley of the Kings, a small deck building game. Though I have all 3, 1, 2, 3. The Last Rites is the last one. I would really love AG to get this kind of a big box edition, where I could buy the big box and kind of have it all in one box.
You can just buy a box.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I sleeve them as well, because I didn't sleeve the last one. I think, like, I usually play it 2-player, but I also like it 4-player. It's fine 4-player. So anyway, with this one, why it feels good is because Valley of the Kings, first of all, it's a deck builder with a twist, like always. Every time somebody talks about deck building, it's with a twist. But here, what I really like is that you score through burying cards in the tomb, and that's really cool because you're not just collecting cards in your deck and then just at the end of the game you just look at all your cards and get the points, like the minions and something like that. It's more of you have to strategize what cards should be left in your deck so you can use them or their powers, their gold, in order to get better cards and so on. And what cards should you bury early on in order to get the set collection? I like the set collection aspect. So you need to collect the same color but different things, so you score more points. So if you have 7 different weapons, you score 49 points and so on. So it doubles. So that's not doubles. I mean, how do you say 7 times 7? Anyway,
Squares.
Squares. Thank you. So
look at me for math.
So that's really cool. I like that aspect of the game. But what gives it the ancient world feel? I really like ancient Egypt, and all the cards have that kind of the art is a little bit, it's like a little bit realistic sometimes, not too much fantasy, and it has a lot of that history italic, but the flavor text, I want to say, the history flavor text under there. So each time, for example, it's not my turn, I'm reading the cards. By the way, if I'm playing, for example, the last rites that I just played once so far, when there was another player's turn, I read those flavor text things, and that was really cool because it gives me the feel because they give me the facts about the ancient history of Egypt. That's what I really like, and it gives me the feel. And also this display of the cards, where you buy the cards, is a pyramid that crumbles, and you can buy only from the base. That's kind of has that theme, although it's a small, fast deck builder with that set collection aspect. So, yeah.
Yeah, I like Valley of the Kings. I don't play it nearly as often as I did once when it first came out. It also has a solo mode, but it's not a very good solo game. It's that's definitely not the way to play it. I've never tried mixing the three. Have you ever done that?
No. I just because I have so many games, I don't play the same game too often. So, and I have all those 3 sets, so I'm just gonna play those 3 sets in in different times. I don't really need the mixing. Though I was thinking about doing the epic game at some point, but with somebody who knows the game really well, so it can go fast, because when there's a new person, there's so much text and so many different abilities and cards and possibilities to do the game, so it's really slowing down. Anyway, yeah, that's my number 3, Valley of the Kings. All the different sets.
All right. We're moving on to number 2.
Number 2.
Okay, my number 2 is one of those games that I end up playing a lot. It's very popular around here. Most of the people I play with regularly actually enjoy it, as opposed to some of the other games that sometimes find their way onto my list. But this is one. I don't know. It feels old world to me, ancient world to me. The artwork, the cards, the game mechanisms are mostly just trading. But for me, my number 2 is Concordia. And I have here Concordia Salsa, and there's a bunch of different maps for it, right? You've got one in Egypt, you've got one set in Great Britain, you've got one set in Germany, you've got several in the Mediterranean, but you even got one in Byzantium. And it's an interesting game. It's this rondel style game, but without one. It's with cards, and you've got a handful of action cards, and you're going to play one each turn. And one of them will pick up all your cards, and then you can keep going again and again. You're trying to, each card gives you a different way to score. So, for example, one of the cards will give you points based on the number of cities that you occupy of different types of goods, or one based on the number of provinces that you're present in. And so you're trying to build a hand of cards that score what you're doing the best in, and then make yourself get a strategy that's going to work to get you the most points. I love it with the salsa expansion that adds salt, not salsa, and it's really a lot of fun. It's one that I really will never turn down. I don't know that I love it with 2. I think it needs at least 3 players to shine, but it also doesn't even bog down too much at the higher player counts. It's one that I just would always be in the mood to play, Concordia.
Yeah, I've never played it because first of all, it's trading in Mediterranean, and the art.
Not just Mediterranean.
yeah, but I mean, the art and everything is just underwhelming for me, at least. But I mean, like I skipped it at some points, but then I was thinking about playing it at some, like, if there will be a possibility, I might play it. Like, for example, Dice Town Cruise or something like that, where I try the games that I don't really want to try. So, because
we'll have to add that to the list of things to try it on the cruise this time, then, because I think you might actually enjoy it. It's one of the better Euro style games that's out there.
I'm getting there. I'm getting back to the older games that I've never tried because of the art or any other thing right there, because I just want to be open to more games.
Yeah.
But eventually, if I skip a game, it doesn't really matter, because there are so many games out there, and each year there's so many games coming out that I just cannot keep up anyway.
Yeah, I still think Concordia might be worth your time. I'll agree the artwork isn't spectacular, especially not on the salsa box, but inside the box it has a nice sort of ancient Roman, ancient world look to it. I mean, it's not going to win any awards for the best looking game, but it doesn't get in the way. It's functional.
Yeah, it's like I recently got Wildcatters, is not the ancient world game, and then Russian Railroads that I love. I mean, I didn't want to play it at all, and First
I
Class as
remember
well.
that.
So that's why I'm a little skeptic with that one. I'm sorry, my voice is not at the best mood today. Anyway, so my number two is a game that I don't really like, but
Why is it on your list?
because it's a lovely game, and
Is it
it's
Summoner Wars?
Cyclades.
Oh, oh, okay.
So with Cyclades, by the way, I have everything in this box, and
That
it's
doesn't look mythological at all.
yeah.
A
So
giant cyclops.
it's mythological, but the feel of Cyclades, first of all, I'm gonna say that it's a bidding game. It's an area control game. It's a game with special powers, monsters, and such. If you know me, you know that it is my top one game of all time, and I still feel like that because no other game has given me any feel the same way as Cyclades has. I don't really like the Titans expansion. The Titan adds that kind of a different feel with too much maybe I don't know why, but it doesn't give me that vibe of the ancient world anymore, the Titans. But all the other expansions, I like them very much. Um, where the ancient world feel comes in is that you are the different cities, different clans, and you summon those mythological monsters, and you build boats and you fight each other. And it's not like Kemet, for example. Kemet is not on my list because um, it I don't know. It just building the cities, metropolises, and so on. It's not like you have pyramids with special powers and I don't know the magic and so on. It's just mythology, monsters, which are kind of a historic, but mythological as
Historic
well.
monsters.
Yeah, kinda. But anyway, I really like Cyclades. It's an amazing game. It's not my number one, as you can see, because I went with the with the ancient world feel. So it doesn't give me feel to be number one, but it is my number one game, and I just love it. It just gives me all the feel of this kind of a Greek mythology and Greek ancient Greece and so on. So Cyclades.
All right. Well, I mean, I like Cyclades. I mean, I don't play it nearly as often as I probably could. I definitely prefer it with the Titans. Alexa, stop. There's we've got some background noise over there.
Welcome.
I like Cyclades better with the Titans expansion. I like it with the Hades expansion. It's a fast, fun game. I've got I think everything too, but it's one that doesn't get played as much around here. I don't know for any reason other than that it's big and heavy and hard to bring to places.
Yeah. But I have the insert that eases the setup, and yeah, it's not a hard game, by the way. It's really simple to explain though, and you can go as you play.
It's simple to play. I don't know that it's simple to explain. It's kind of a bear to teach to a new player, especially if you're playing with some of the expansions.
Yeah. But eventually it's all about resource.
But it's not
management.
a hard game to play.
Yeah, true that. Anyway, that's Cyclades.
All right.
Number two. And let's go to your number one. Let me put it away.
Well, my number one game, since you told me I couldn't include Summoner Wars, is a game that I really enjoy. It's one of those games that I've played lots of times, probably in the 60 or 70 times.
Love Letter?
No, it's not Love Letter. I don't know that I've played that one that much. That one's not one of my favorite games, although it's a fine game. And I thought about it, and I decided to put it as my number one. This is a game that I would play almost exclusively solo or with one person. It's a game where there's a bit of a learning curve, and it's kind of strayed a little bit out of Ancient World with some recent expansions. But my number one Ancient World game is Imperial Settlers.
Okay.
And I love this game. I like 51st State as well, but I like this one better ultimately. It's got the base box has 4 factions, 3 of which definitely fit into that Ancient World theme. You've got Romans, barbarians, and Egyptians. You've got the Japanese, and although they're an ancient culture, they're not really what I would associate with when I hear the words ancient world.
But they kind of are. I mean, like, still.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're definitely, but they're not, the same. I don't know. They're definitely an ancient culture, and they fit into the game very well. They've added some newer factions that are a little bit less. You've got the Aztecs and the Atlanteans, and I really like both of those.
And the Amazons.
The Amazons are not in it yet. They're coming soon.
Oh,
they're supposed to be coming out at or after Gen Con. And I'll certainly pick them up because this is a game that I never grow tired of. I've got all the expansions in here. I have not played with the most recent one. We didn't start the Fire expansion, but I like all the rest. And it's a game that really gives me a nice engine building feel, not so much an ancient world feel, but it definitely has that theme, thickly laid on, so that you've got the feel that you're doing something different with your race. The barbarians want to build up a horde of people and just overwhelm people. The Romans want to build up a large supply of iron and swords and conquer. The Egyptians just want to trade and get lots of money. And the Japanese are kind of playing their own game off to the side. But it's just a fun game. I really enjoy it. I wish I played it more. And that's my #1 ancient world game, Imperial Settlers.
Yeah, that's good. That's where I told about that. I didn't really want to include civilization games, but Imperial Settlers is all about the ancient world, ancient cities, and so on. So
it's not really a civilization game. It's sort of building up one. It's a one point in time game. It's not like, for example, Through the Ages, where you might spend a good portion of the time in the ancient world, and then you end up with Einstein and airplanes, which are definitely not ancient world, even though they're older than I am.
Looking at my list, I considered this one, but as I don't own it and I have played it like long time ago, I cannot really judge it right now. So maybe
just have to play it again.
It's a good game. I had some problems with this one, so it's not a bad game, but it's a good game. But I had some problems with this one, with some of the factions being maybe more easy to play.
Definitely. And a good player, I mean, an experienced player will win against an inexperienced player every time. I mean, there's definitely a learning curve there. And all the factions are nicely balanced, but some of them are a little easier to just be handed and play. And some require a little bit more finesse. Like the Japanese definitely require a little bit more finesse than, say, the barbarians, just because the strategies and the ways that you make the most of what they're doing are maybe not as apparent just on reading the cards.
Yeah. Anyway, my #1 is a game. First of all, that I really liked how it looked, and I was thinking about it's French designer and so on, so it should be elegant and so on. So, and it's Nostrum Empires as well. It's your #3. It's my #1. So what I like about this one, first of all, as you told, it's a reprint. I saw the Kickstarter when it came out. I mean, like, I really like the art style here. It's different. It's really cool. It fits this game so well, and the map and everything is just amazing. The component, the overall, the production is just great. That's what I like about this game, and also that this game offers a lot of possibilities, different choices. The Kickstarter copy, I mean, like, it has those extra scenarios, how you can play with different amount of players, what should you play, what not, and so on. It's just a well-balanced game. Although I feel like if you play a 3-player game, it's not as balanced, maybe, because as we played again, like. We play on the Dice Cruise, and we played also in the can, in the boarding can. And that third player who played played Egypt or something? No,
it's Carthage.
Carthage, yeah. So both times that player won, because, like, I think I remember that I was playing against you with that army. With the same setup, so I was playing against you with the same things, and it's just the Rome and Greece, they both start attacking each other because they're so close to each other, and the Carthage is over the sea, and that's just also the obvious thing to do, but it's something that should not be that obvious. You know, you need to do something else.
Yeah, I agree. It's not necessarily a balance issue so much as just because Rome and Greece are right next to each other right off the bat. I mean, they could ignore each other, but the fact is that they don't. And because of that, Carthage can not involve itself in any of the fights and just build up its resources and build the wonders that it needs. That's actually fixed either by playing with people who've played once and know not to let them do that, or if you use some of the alternate setups and you can mix in a different race or two, a different nation or two. You've got the Egyptians, or you've got whatever the purple faction is. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But, and that's not the base way to play, but it sort of opens up some of the strategies so that Rome and Greece don't have to sit and fight it out while somebody else wins the game.
But still, the even as we played on the 3-player, I played on the 3-player game. It's still a great game. It has kind of it has the feel of the ancient world, and you're building up. There's not any kind of fantasy. It's caravans, it's temples, and so on. It's the armies that clash with each other. I just need to try to go towards the Carthage next time. Like, for example, both Greece and Rome, just go across the sea towards the Carthage and and kill people. I'm not an angry person anyway. Violent person, no. But anyway, Nostrum Empire, it's just the whole feel, the whole production, and the game itself is just really, really good, and I like it for that kind of an ancient feel, ancient game. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I obviously agree with that one. So
cool.
There you go.
So also, let's first, what I want to say is that each time after we talk about our top 3 picks, we're gonna talk about the top picks of the people who have sent an email to me with their favorite picks. So I usually announce it on Twitter and Facebook, but I will probably do a kind of a reminder video each time. So for the ones who are watching this video, just to let you know, the first time I didn't get much of the answers right there, but each time when we have a new theme, you can send an email to me at wurfelreviews@gmail.com. You can find all the stuff on Facebook, Twitter, or under this description below. And you can send me your favorite pick with a comment, so we can read it out loud, comment on that as well. So engage with the video, it's just cool. More opinions is better. So I would definitely encourage everyone next time when we do another top 3, send me all the picks and such so we can discuss them and get more games in. That would be cool. But I'm gonna talk about that in Twitter and Facebook and the separate video as well. Anyway, but before that, I also asked in the chat, in the YouTube chat, asked people what are their favorite games. So what is, let me see. Kochka Bachena is looking. I'm looking at my collection, and they could maybe squeeze Pecunian and Olet into the category. Oh, that's the one where the Roman toilets.
Yes, that's the one.
I mean, it's set in ancient. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Nothing as ancient as trying to make some money.
Well, I mean, like it fits at least. So.
Oh, absolutely, it's definitely an unusual game. I don't know that people around here don't really like to play it, at least not in my group, but I think it's hilarious. So,
So Nithers plays. She likes Concordia. She said that's good. That's maybe a good pick. I don't know. I haven't tried it, but we're gonna try it on the Dice Cruise maybe. Agra, yes, I have Agra, by the way, and I need to do a review of it. So I grabbed it with me to the board game camp that was recently in May, the Estonian board game camp. But the problem was that I had quite a few games I needed to do, like play games for reviews and such. So I couldn't really fit Agra because we already like read so many rules. I had my head was exploding because we had like kind of a Wasteland Express service. We had minutes to midnight after that, and then we got a third heavy Euro game, something like that, and they were like, "Oh my god, my head is exploding! I cannot read any more rules." So that's that.
I've never had that experience.
Oh yeah,
I love reading rules.
Yeah, but anyway, I really want to try Agra still. I don't know how much it is an ancient Arabic theme, but yeah, it might be. Yeah, ancient. Yeah,
I think it's Indian, isn't it? I haven't played it, but I got
Indian.
I think when I think Agra, I think India.
Might be. I'm sorry. I can really.
I guess I don't really know, but that's just what it's. For some reason, it seems Indian to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Gentis says as well. I've seen Gentis. It was on Kickstarter with the Team G, the reprint of the.
Yeah, I haven't played that.
But is it? It's a civilization game. Is it only like a ancient thing? So I don't know.
I think it has something to do with like roots and trying to. And so I mean, I think it's ancient. I don't know that it's quite a civilization game, but I really just don't know much about it.
I was really interested in this one, but I don't like the artwork. The artwork reminds me of Golden Ages, and I've burned myself with Golden Ages artwork already. So it's really hard to get something on the table that terrible looking, just gonna. You agree with me? I mean, like it's just like with Golden Ages. So I was thinking about Golden Ages, by the way, because
I love Golden Ages, but it's ugly
as hell. Yeah.
It just has really bad artwork, but and cheap content.
Yeah. Iki, I don't know Iki. What's Iki?
Iki?
IKI. Netherplay. She says about Iki. I remember.
I don't know that one either.
Name, but I haven't played it. So, the Downfall of Pompeii.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's ancient, but it's more of a. Yeah, I mean, like it doesn't really have the ancient world feel.
Well, it certainly does. I mean, Pompeii happened a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, okay,
and it hasn't repeated.
Yeah, Mexico. Yeah, I was thinking about the Tikal is. I know Tikal is not an ancient game.
Tikal's more modern, but Mexico is more ancient.
I got Mexico at some point, but I haven't played it, so I sold it eventually because it was like I'm never gonna get it on the table.
I have the old version. I haven't. I know they came out with a new, better looking one, but I have the old one with the mask on the cover.
It's really cool looking. It's just amazing. So
I don't know if it's amazing enough to buy it again,
but sorry. Hi, Joseph. Joseph Bridges. He was suggesting some of the Mexican Downfall of Pompeii. Cartago at Origins. Oh, Cartago. It's the game.
That's that one from what is it? From Capstone, I think. That's the one from Capstone, I think.
I remember. Yeah, Capstone, because I was looking at the wild.
The multi-use cards and. Yeah, that's one I'm definitely gonna have to check out at Gen Con if it's not out before then.
So this place says Iki is based in Edo, Japan. So it's Japanese, ancient Japanese thing. So we're gonna
always good to hear to learn about a game you never knew about.
Yeah. But anyway, let's take a look at the pics of people who have sent us an email. A few clicks and there you go. At least something. So my friend from Finland, Harri-Pekka Kuusula, sent me. So basically, what I asked for is just a top pick and a comment, because I was thinking about more people getting involved in that. But as only 2 people have sent an email, I'm going to include all their 3 picks over here. So why not? So Harry's first choice was Euphrates and Tigris. I think he means Tigris and Euphrates.
Well, there's 2 versions. There's the card version, which was Euphrates and Tigris, and there was the big game, which is Tigris and Euphrates. But it's pretty much the same game.
He says, from the genius period of Knizia, simplicity brings complicity, and conflict can bring chaos. So I haven't played it.
Really?
Yeah, I know that there's that. External conflict, internal conflicts, and so on.
Yeah, that part's confusing. that game is a fine game, and I enjoy playing it, and it makes people really angry. But the terminology they use, the internal external conflict, is very difficult to remember, and so it takes a time or two just sort of to get what's going on. But it's a good ancient world game, absolutely.
It's Knizia, so I'm not really excited about Knizia. Plus, it looks boring and as abstract as you can get. So
I think either they came out with or are coming out with a reprinted version that might look better.
The reprinted version is from Fantasy Flight Games. Yeah, the newest one, which came out 2015.
Okay, well, I mean, I have the old version, so I didn't look into the reprint, but
yeah, the new version had the Fantasy Flight. It's kind of beautiful, but I mean, like, still, boring looking. Anyway, so what we have here, the second one is Comments and Colors, Ancients. Tactical light war game where the mechanics support the theme. Fun support.
That game, have you played that one?
No. I've really skipped the all the war games.
Well, it's one of those lighter war games. It's the same family, the same. It's almost the same as what is it? Memoir 44, sort of that lighter style of a combat game. The only problem with that game is that you've got like a million blocks that you have to put stickers on, and dice that you have to put stickers on. So opening the game, you've got an hour and a half of build up before you can play.
I hate that. I mean, like, never do that. I mean, like, it's cheap. Never. And like lately, I'm going to tell you once more. Wildcatters. I had to put stickers on each side of the oil rigs or whatever they are, the towers, the old towers, and I hated that because it's like 160 stickers. So it's like
this Command and Colors is even worse because each of the units is a wooden block, and you have to put a sticker on the wooden block so that you can see what it is. It's from GMT, and they're a smaller company that doesn't always invest heavily in the component quality, and it's functional. And it looks okay once you get it set up.
I've seen that, yeah.
But I eventually parted with mine, which I rarely do, just because I think I prefer Memoir 44. It's almost the same game, and it looks a lot better, and it's a little bit easier to get somebody to play. That one just doesn't. I mean, you really had to find somebody. I actually thought about putting it on the list because it is a nice ancient world game, and it's a good ancient world tactical game, and you've got to keep your lines and formations. But it's just such a bear to get into, and it really doesn't look very good.
Oh yeah, but it's like there's the game called Sekigahara from GMT. Sorry, Sekigahara is the Japanese one, and also kind of an ancient one. We had this one. We eventually didn't play it, and we sold it because we never got into wargaming. Even the light one.
Well, you might like this Command and Colors series, whether it's the Ancients or the modern Memoir 44. They're very good, light, simple to play games that are a lot of fun. But it's generally it's either at least Memoir is either 2 or 8 players. So you've really got to have you can't really do much in between those numbers.
That's something when I got into gaming, it was like cooperative games more, and that thing. And then I went into more conflict games, and I like that as well. And at some point, right now, I feel like I would rather play Heroes and something where I can manage my engine rather than just do a conflict straightforward.
Oh, so Concordia.
Yeah, might be, So his number one game is Polis, Fight for the Hegemony, the perfect war hero. I saw that one. The box looks cool, but the components look.
I don't know anything about that game.
Polis?
Nope.
Okay, so we cannot really comment on that. Anyway.
Well, you can comment, but I don't know anything about it. So
I've seen only the box and the components.
Oh. Well, maybe we have to learn about that. We've got 2 to check out now.
Yeah. But also, what do we have? We have Clive. And he sends us his 3 picks. First of all, Inish. So Sumi, lovely components, Metagat, so what did you expect? And the opinion-dividing art style is only on the mythical cards, which fits well. I'm just fine with this artist anyhow. The gameplay is nothing like The gameplay is like nothing else except Lords of Hellas, which stole a lot. Drafting, negotiation, and an amazing feeling when you sneak a win. I considered Inish as well. The problem I have with Inish, it's a good game. I consider this one as my number 3, but I didn't really get the feel of the ancient theme there. So
I have mixed feelings about that game. I don't know. I think I've just played it with the wrong people.
Yeah,
I enjoy it. I don't agree with the comment about Lords of Hellas. I think those are two very different games. They're just very different in the way that they work overall. I mean, Innis is really a drafting game where you're drafting the cards and trying to use the territorial control, whereas Lords of Hellas is just a very different style of game.
Yeah.
I like them both. I have them both, and I thought about putting Lords of Hellas even on this list. It was maybe an honorable mention, but it fell a little. It felt a little. That's why it ultimately fell off. It feels like like an ancient world battle. You've got the Spartans and the Greeks fighting it out, but there is a whole lot of monsters moving around the board, and that's why I ultimately decided not to put it on the list.
It's like I was thinking about Champions of Midgard as well, but eventually it's just doesn't feel ancient,
No, that one feels even more
Rising Sun.
removed.
Nobody mentioned Rising Sun. I haven't played it yet.
Is that on his list, or is that?
No, it's not. I mean, like,
okay.
I just came up with the. I don't know. Nobody mentioned the Rising Sun really, so I don't know. Why didn't you mention that?
Why didn't I mention it?
Yeah, is it also like Blood Rage to?
Yeah, it definitely feels. It definitely feels very fantasy. I mean, you've got big monsters marching around the board. You've got a Godzilla there. It's a fine game, but I don't think of it as an ancient world game. It's more of if we were talking about our top games with monsters and mythological creatures, it might fit in there.
Oh yeah,
but not so much ancient world for me, at least.
Nice theme, by the way, for top 3. Anyway, let's go with number 2. It's Deus, coordinating map position, card playing order, and resources, still building in an hour-ish. A bit of a hidden gem, I think.
Yeah, that was my number 4. I that one nearly made my list. It was beat out by Mare Nostrum because that sort of has a better ancient feel. But I love Deus, and I totally agree that it has a nice ancient world theme. Although there's a little bit of the fantasy, you've got the gods and such, but it's really more focused on building the units.
It's abstract.
Not really. Yeah, it's more abstract. I agree.
For me, at least.
But
I didn't really. I thought about Deus as well, and I like it. Sorry. But it feels too much abstract for me, and I mean the board is so ugly. Like the cards are really cool looking, and the board is ugly.
It's not the best. It's got some component issues too, and there's lots of typos on the cards. But
I mean the green and the brown. Yeah.
In mine I had to buy some green or some green pieces just because that was too confusing for me.
Oh yeah. I remember that, but yeah, we did the review of that long ago. One of the first normal reviews that got like over 1,000 views and so on. So
yeah, well, you can look in that game. I think they misspelled mountain on almost every card.
Is it really?
Yeah, at least on several of the cards. They left it's mountain. They left out one of the ends.
Mountain.
But anyway, but it's a fine game. I totally agree. It nearly would have come onto my list.
The spreading out is cool, except when you block someone. And what the biggest issue I had with this game is that the card draw. I mean, like, because the cards are so important, and at some point, if you're blocked and you cannot really get the right cards, you're out of the game. That's what I felt.
Well, you can pay 1 point and go to any part of the board, though. So you can unblock yourself pretty easily.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not really blocked, like physically, but I mean, like, it's just at some point you cannot really, if you don't get the resource cards, for example. That's what I remember, though. I
don't know. I have the expansion, but I've never been able to convince somebody to play with it.
I heard the expansion is good, but yeah,
someday we'll see.
I don't like the random the card draw thing. It just ruins the game for me at some point. but it's a nice game. I still liked it. So, and number one for Clive is Imperial Settlers. By the way, it's a lightweight tableau building and fiercely asymmetric. It always feels like everyone else has better cards than you. Oh yeah, I get the feeling. I get the feeling.
Yeah, well, I obviously agree with that one, so that's all I can say.
Yeah, it's one thing about what I want to say about the Imperial Settlers. I like the tableau building. I like that in games because it reminds me of engine building, and I love engine building in games, and asymmetry as well. That's what I like as well. So it's a nice game. Anyway, these are all the picks. I think we should end it on this high note. But before that, I chose a new theme for the next top three. Without you, Kyle, I'm sorry. I'm just going to bash it out this time. It's going to be top 3 engine building games. That's how we roll. Are you satisfied with that theme?
Is that engine like a train engine? So this is secretly your top 3 train games?
Let's go with mechanically engine building games. Because otherwise my top 3 would be First Class, Russian Railroads, and I don't know, Kings of Air and Steam. I don't know, maybe trains as well.
So it's the non-train engines. Got it.
Yeah, cars are
car
fine.
engines.
Car engines, yeah. Yes. Because I play the Kraftwagen, so
that's airlines, airplane engines.
Yeah, Airlines Europe is a really good game. Anyway, yeah, this will be top 3 engine building games. So, folks, don't forget that I'm gonna announce it as well. Anyway, but you can send me an email already. You can do that. I mean, I don't know where we're probably gonna do somewhere next week. We're gonna do another top 3. You can send me an email, wurfelreviews@gmail.com, with your favorite pick in that category, top 3 engine building games category. And a comment as well, where you describe why you like the game, why you chose that game. So do that, please. More opinions matters. More opinions is better. You know, that's really cool to read them out loud, the other people's opinions, and then discuss them and so on. Maybe bash some as well. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, definitely send me an email with your favorite pick of engine building games.
Okay, I will.
You will. You will. Maybe I won't. You will build the show.
Very well. I will send you an email.
Everyone except me and you. Anyway, thank you all for watching. And that was Milia. And we're gonna maybe do it shorter next time. We're gonna figure this out. It's just the first video after the restart of the top 3 series. So thank you.
All right, sounds good.
I'll say you bye. And Kyle.
And I'll say goodbye as well.
Goodbye. So we're gonna go offline in 3. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. I had to say that this channel is sponsored by Osprey Games. Check them out at ospreypublishing.com.
Oh.
And thanks to all the Patreon supporters as well. They're really cool. The producers, and you're all really cool. Thank you. Really, thank you for supporting the channel. Anyway, goodbye.
All right.
In
Bye.
3, 2, 1. Whoa.